before we left to come over here, and he told me to tell all you people you'll come to Bravo Patino's dinners on the house. Why don't we take a phone call and get out of this mess? All right. Give us, we have someone on the line. Go ahead, please. Coach Patino's right here.
Yes, Coach, this is Eddie Tucker from Frankfurt, and I wanted to make a comment that I thought that Kentucky come out pretty good during the bracket, and maybe the foul trouble was a blessing in disguise because you had a chance to rest a couple of key players through the LSU game. And I got a couple of questions. One is, did the team actually really play like you expect them to in the Vandy game and in the LSU game? They looked a little bit, well, I wouldn't say flat, but not like you'd like to see going into tournament time. And then they really come out like, like they played against Indiana and everything the very next day against Alabama. And the other question is, how do you feel with looking at the brackets going on out in the NCAA tournament? Thank you very much.
Well, I guess I agree and disagree with you. I thought the Vanderbilt and the LSU game, LSU was a very dangerous game because we were going against a group of young men who were in the shadow of Shaquille O'Neal, very talented in their own right, and both teams played extremely well. Vanderbilt, for opening game in the tournament, with Kentucky not in the tournament for 3 years, I thought we played well. Cawood thought, so I'll let him say it, really, the second half of Alabama, you thought...
Yeah, I told Rick after the game, I thought the second half against Alabama was as good a half of basketball as I've ever seen a Kentucky team play.
So, I guess I can't be any more pleased with our performance. I don't think you see, I wish we could play like that every night, or like we did against IU. If that was the case, then you'd never lose. But no, I was very pleased with all three games, and very surprised that we could press all three nights, all 40 minutes, with the exception of the final 5 minutes against Alabama. We didn't have to. But I was very surprised that we could do that and still be very fresh, physically and mentally.
All right, we appreciate your call, and if any of you people have a question for Coach Patino, step right up, and we have a young man up at the mic. Go ahead, please.
Coach Patino, this is Richard Phillips from Campbellsville, and I just want to say, in the last 3 years, I know you've given me and a lot of the people down in Central Kentucky a lot of pleasure. The Wildcats have just come from 0 to first in those 3 years, and I want to thank you personally.
Well, it's my pleasure. Thank you. It takes a very special group of young men to go from probation, and we said this when I was hired, that cover of Sports Illustrated, title caption, shame, to this point, 2 years in a row winning the SEC conference. That's a very special group of young people.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's go back to the phones. Go ahead, please.
I want to say congratulations on winning the SEC tournament. That was one heck of a game yesterday. And I also wanted to know, what are you going to do about pressing the first couple of games? Are you going to go full out press, or are you going to maybe slow down a little bit?
I think we're going to play a little bit like Princeton. We're going to hold the ball. Make sure you tell Old Dominion that.
One more question. Do you think you're going to play Riddick and Timberlake a little more, try to go a little deeper in the bench?
Not unless we have to. If Martinez and Mashburn can stay out of foul trouble, I'll go with them more.
Okay, that's all. Go Cats.
Okay.
Thank you. I don't know why anybody bothers to ask you those questions anyway, because I asked you on your pregame program, you said we can't press 3 straight days. We're going to play more half-court, man-to-man, more zone. And I think you did call the press off the last 90 seconds of the Alabama game.
But you're the only one that after we go off the air, I tell you I was fibbing. The other guys think I'm telling the truth.
Let's go back to the telephones. Go ahead, please.
Hi, this is Sarah from Versailles. This question's for Coach Patino. I just wanted to say congratulations on your big win yesterday.
Thank you.
And I just wondered, what did Wimp say to you after the game yesterday? Because he kind of gave you a strange look or something after you shook hands.
Wimp Sanderson?
Yes.
I just said to him that great season, good luck in the NCAA. I said, I'm sure your kids came up a little tired after that emotional game, and he said, no, that wasn't it at all. We should not have been tired. And he said, no excuse. We should not have played that way, and congratulations. That's what he basically said.
Well, thanks a lot, and congratulations.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks for calling. And again, we repeat, any of you can get to a microphone. Is this the only one we have? The only one we have. And we have a young lady. Go ahead, please.
My name's Anna, and I'm from Louisville, and I just want to thank y'all for coming out here tonight. And I want to congratulate you on a great win. I think it was tremendous to see the players play together as a team as they did. Everybody hustled. Everybody was together. They were, watching each other, and I think it was terrific to see them play together as a team like they did. And we just really want to thank you all and congratulate you for a great win. And Cawood, have a great retirement.
Thank you kindly. I ask you, maybe some of these people weren't listening on your pregame ahead of Alabama, and because Alabama does have such tremendous athletes that can run and jump. And I talked about, I didn't think you were as talented, and you said something I found very interesting. You said there are different kinds of talent. I wish you'd repeat that.
Well, if you're running a track race, it's obviously you have to get out of the starting blocks. You have to be a strong finisher. Stamina is important. Or if you're running the hurdles, not hitting the hurdles are important, and obviously getting out quickly and finishing quickly is strong again. Or if you're jumping over a bar, that's a different story. But that's an individual talent that on a given day, the best athlete wins. Well, basketball, there are many forms of talent. There's an ability to focus in on a scouting plan, to understand what the other team is going to do and take away their strengths and minimize your weaknesses by understanding the game plan and by forming it and executing. And it takes 9 or 10 players to execute a game plan, and everything must be working the correct way. So when you look at a John Pelfrey, if you lined him up next to someone else, you ran a race, you jumped over a bar, or you had to go over hurdles.
A low bar in John's
Low
case.
bar. John Pelfrey would lose 100 out of 100 times. But now if you put him in the scheme of team basketball and you get him understanding what the other players are all about, where he can cheat, where he can camouflage his weaknesses, where he can exploit his strengths, now you get yourself a great basketball player. And that's why the beauty of this game is so sensational, because it's a team sport. Talent, athletic talent, doesn't always prevail. Now, the best team that can understand everything I just said as far as game plans and with the most athletic talent wins the most games. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's so important. When you look at our basketball team, Jamal Mashburn is not a great athlete. He's not a person, again, like...
You could have fooled me.
Well, I should say he's that different athlete. He has great hands. But he's a true basketball player. Knows how to pass, catches every pass, knows how to ball fake, knows how to post up. There's not a finer basketball player in the country. Now, if you said to me, will he out-jump people? Say, why doesn't he dunk more? If he has to dunk, he'll dunk. If he doesn't have to extend that energy, he'll lay it off the glass. That's Jamal. He's a very bright young man. He knows how to conserve energy.
All right, let's go back to our telephones. Go ahead, please. You're on the air.
Yeah, I got a question for Rick Pitino, and I'd like to say congratulations on your SEC win. This is Matt from Louisville, and my question is there any certain player on the Old Dominion squad that you're really worried about, or if not, what is our main weakness against them, or do we have them?
Well, it's not one person. They have a point guard named Anderson who shoots 90% from the foul line. They have 9 or 10 players who can shoot the three. They have a young man who averages 21 points a game in the front court who's 6'7.5", 6'8", 238 pounds. But they have 3 seniors, 1 junior, one freshman starting. They're very experienced. This is not a good opening round game. I disagree when somebody said they looked at the brackets and liked Kentucky's bracket. I think we're good enough, and we've said this all year, to go to the Final Four. We're also slim enough in certain positions to get knocked out in the first round. This is, I think, for Kentucky, the toughest bracket there is, because this team is very talented, very deep. the winner of, I happen to think, I don't know, but North Carolina Charlotte's one of the best sleepers in the country, and Iowa State will have to go some to beat them. So we're in a very difficult bracket. It's going to take a great effort. From the first game, second, third, and fourth, we're going to have to be on top of our game, much like Alabama, in order to win. If we're not on top of our game, it'll be an early exit. So we've got to make sure we are.
Thank you, sir. We've got to take our break right now. And I'll be back with Coach Rick Pitino on the UK Basketball Network. We're coming to you live from Oxmoor. Tremendous crowd here tonight. And we appreciate that. Thank you. And someone asked from the audience a time, and I guess maybe everybody hasn't heard, it was the times were announced today. Kentucky will play Old Dominion Friday, and that's at 12:35. Isn't that what you said, Rick?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone who wants to ask a question to Mike, if you can make your way up there, go right ahead. In the meantime, we'll go to the phones. Go ahead, please. You're on the air.
Hello, Coach Pitino.
Yes.
Bill here in Louisville. I wanted to say you made the state proud. If anybody deserves to win a title, it's through hard work. It's these fellas. It's nice to see them get rewarded. One area that I wanted to ask you, it seems like we haven't been converting too much when we get down for the last shot of a half or when we run the delay game. When we set up our offense with about 8 seconds to go and we don't seem to be getting good shots. Or have you ever thought about just completely reversing the strategy? And I know in the NBA a lot of times when they see man-to-man, they'll just go to what they call the two-man game. Just maybe Woods and Mashburn, just isolate them, just try to get better shots.
Well, yesterday, they were playing a 3-2 zone, and we just wanted to get in the locker room without any serious damage to us and make some adjustments. But we had to drive on a zone, and it really is, you can't play two-man game against the zone. So in that situation, I was very, very pleased, though, with in the second half with milking the clock and scoring back door. So I don't quite agree with you.
And it wasn't too much wrong with, in the LSU game, I think it was, with Pelfrey's shot at the horn at ended the half. He lost his shoe, but the ball went in.
No, I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. But we certainly, two-man game, you can certainly use, but not against the zone.
Okay, let's go to the audience here. A couple of young fellows. Go ahead.
My name's Chris Yates from Louisville, and I just wanted to know how long would I have to practice from right now to be on Cats?
Well, you better leave the show right now and start working. All you have to do is there's one thing you have to do, and I really believe this. You got to learn how to shoot. You got to learn how to dribble. You got to learn that playing is fun, and you've got to do it so much time per day, every day. Whatever amount you want to allocate is up to you. But if you're really serious about the game and you can put a couple hours in per day of working on those skills, and by the time you're 13 or 14, how old are you now?
11, going on 11.
So by the time you're ready for high school, you'll be ready to make your high school team, and sooner or later you'll be playing for the Cats.
Can I shake your hand?
He's holding his little brother. Is that your brother? Little brother, he's holding him up.
What
He
did you
wants to
say?
shake your hand.
Can I shake your hand?
Come on up.
And Rick not only shook his hand, but gave him a big hug. And while he's still running for office, we'll go back to the phones. Go ahead, please.
Congratulations. This is Pam Boyle calling from Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. And my question is, I watched the LSU-Tennessee game Friday evening, and I'm curious as why Dale Brown was not ejected from the game for his behavior. And my second question is, what's your opinion on the reprimand he received?
Well, the reprimand he received was not because of his actions during that game. From what I understand, the reprimand was for knocking the SEC office. So he really wasn't reprimanded on the game itself. And your first question was?
from the game.
Well, I think a better for why wasn't he ejected from the coaching profession?
Well,
Now, for all you newspaper listening in, that is a joke. That is not something serious that you write down and put in headlines. That's a joke. No, I really don't think it was good for the conference tournament. And the best thing, what I'd like to see, rather than give my own opinion, because my opinion, I would like to see people, when they make a mistake, whoever it may be, Dale Brown, Hugh Durham, Rick Pitino, it doesn't matter who it is, make a mistake, own up to it. We're human beings, but don't point fingers at the conference and conspiracies all over America that everybody's out to get you. Just own up to it. We all make them, and then go on from there.
Thank you. We've had a young man waiting patiently. Go ahead.
I'm Dennis Wilkins from Louisville, Kentucky. I'd like to know how you think we would do against Duke.
Well,
he wants to skip the middleman, get right after the big guy.
I'll tell you, I really can't think about Duke because I don't know if, I'm not sure right now what our game plan is going to be against Old Dominion. So I'm just concentrating on that. But looking at the brackets, anything can happen. We've got to get by this first round. This is a very tough first round opponent. We don't have a home court advantage, neither do they. We'll be in New England. We only got 250 tickets. That's all they would give out. But for all Kentucky fans listening in, there are these people known as scalpers, even in Massachusetts. So we need you to get down there, up there.
I'm glad it's late this season. You're going to get us both arrested. Let's go. Yes, go ahead. All right, thank you. We'll go back to the phones. Coach Pitino's right here. Go ahead, please.
Hi, my name is Chuck Tall. I'm from Hardensburg, Kentucky. I'd like to congratulate Rick and the whole team. I think he's done a real good job this year. I've got a stumper question for you, I guess. I have an argument with a fellow at work. I said in the last regular season game that Riddick hit 2 consecutive free throws. Could you tell me if that's correct?
I would have to look it up. I'm not sure. It should be something that sticks out in my mind, but
I think he did.
Yeah.
I think that's why it sticks out in my mind. Yeah. I believe he did.
Well, I jumped up and cheered for him, but the guys at work said, no, he didn't do it. But I just thought maybe you would...
Well, that would be quite a feat, and I should remember that, but I don't. I think Cawood does.
I'll look it up. I think he did, but I'll look it up, and we'll let you know next Monday, okay?
Okay, thanks, Caitlin.
Okay, thanks for calling. Go right ahead.
Coach Pitino, my name is Carol Catalfo. I live here in Louisville. I would like to say I'm originally from Boston, and I was very happy when you moved here because there was a second Italian from north of the Mason-Dixon line here in Kentucky.
How come you don't talk funny like he does?
Well, I've been here about 5 years now, but
these people have corrupted you.
He sounds normal to me.
There's still hope for Rick, right?
There is. He still sounds normal to me, though. I wondered what you found the biggest difference was in moving from the Northeast and coming all the way down here south, and what kind of differences you found.
Well, if I could be honest with you, I really, and I hope I don't insult anybody by saying this, I don't consider this place the South. That's the first thing. I think we have more in common with Ohio and Indiana than we do the South. That's just my opinion, from climate to the way we, culturally, the way we look at values and so on. So I really think it's more like Indiana and Ohio than the South. But it is a tremendous difference than the New England and New York area. But when in Rome, do as the Romans do. I don't expect to convert any people into becoming New Yorkers, but I do expect them to convert me into being a Kentuckian. So that's the way I live my life.
And we got to take a break right now. I'll be back with Coach Rick Pitino on Big Blue Line on the UK Basketball Network. We'll remind you again, our TMC toll-free number, if you're calling long distance outside the Lexington area, is 1-800-676-CATS. And we're going to be right back after we pause 10 seconds for station identification on the UK Basketball Network. And we're back live from Oxmoor in Louisville with a great crowd and everybody in a great mood following Kentucky's Southeastern Conference Tournament Championship, now on the road to the NCAA. And Mike Dotson, our producer, told us while we were away there, I hadn't heard it, that the rankings came out today from the Associated Press, and Kentucky's up to number 6. And we have another gentleman from here in our audience. Go ahead, please.
My name is Marvin Weber from Louisville, and I just want to compliment both of you gentlemen on the fine job that you're doing and what you're going to do. And Rick, if you stay around for 42 years, like Adolph Rupp did, we might forget him a little bit.
Well, I can guarantee you 2 things. You won't forget Adolph, and I won't be around for 42 years.
My question is, what do you think about the homegrown boys that you have playing for you? And also, will you be trying to recruit the better Kentucky players for your team?
Well, I'm in love with all my players, and to me, once they enroll at Kentucky, they're all Kentuckians, because I tell you what happens. If you look at Kenny Walker from Georgia, if you look at Eddie Davender, or all the players that graduate, they don't seem to go back where they're from. They stay in Kentucky. As far as recruiting in-state players, anytime there's an in-state player that's even close to a player out of state, I will always take the in-state player because of this reason. It means a lot to Andre Riddick and Jamal Mashburn and Amino Timberlake to play for Kentucky. It's their school, it's their alma mater. But it's almost like Batman putting on his cape for the Kentucky kid, because they suddenly reach a new level when that jersey goes on their body, and they feel something different that no one else can experience unless you were born here in Kentucky. So it is special, and you always want to recruit, but I do have to tell you, our pool is not that large, and that's a problem we do have.
I know y'all seen this sign up in Indianapolis. There's 2 cards up there. Cawood, I wrote you a letter here a while back inviting you to my room. Take that card, and I'm looking forward to you. I haven't wrote Rick yet, but Rick, you have sent me an autographed picture in the past. You'll be hearing from me. God bless both of y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. He has a room at his home, Rick. It's got everything I think ever had the name Wildcat on it. Okay, let's go back to our telephones. Coach Pitino's right here. Go right ahead. Hello. Yeah, go right ahead.
Rick.
Yes.
I want to, first off, congratulate you on the new member and your family this year.
I think you're still waiting on that one.
Not yet.
Oh, sorry.
You scared me.
Okay.
You didn't hear that on the radio just recently or anything, did you, in the last 5 or 10 minutes?
No.
All right.
Secondly, I want to definitely congratulate you on bringing Kentucky basketball back to what it used to be. We really do appreciate you.
You know, Bill Kitely, thank you very much. Bill Kitely made the remark. Last night we flew back, and we were supposed to arrive at Sprite Flight around 9 o'clock, but we had some difficulty getting back, and we didn't arrive until 11 o'clock, and we had about 600-700 people at Sprite Flight, and they turned away about 400 or 500 others, waiting out in the cold for 2 hours to welcome us back. And I can't tell you, those people who did that, that was really special for our players and special for all of us. And Bill Kitely made the statement, he said, "Coach, now I know we're back." And that was special.
We'll take a question from the audience. Go ahead, please.
Brian Handy, I'm from Louisville. I want to know if you could contrast and compare Rupp's 1-3-1 zone to your 2-3 zone you sometimes use now.
The 1-3-1 compared to your 2-3.
I've never seen Rupp's 1-3-1.
Well, you could compare zones, though. The 1-3-1
Well,
compared to the 2-3.
the 1-3-1 today is not as effective as a 2-3 because it gives up the three-point shot. The 1-3-1 before the three-point line was a very effective defense. But now the corners are open against a 1-3-1, especially with the diagonal pass, and it's a difficult defense to play because it does give up the three and does give you easy access to the offensive glass.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Go ahead, please.
Yes, this is Tony Jolly from Louisville, Kentucky. And I'd just like to ask Rick Pitino how far he thinks he can go in the NCAA championship.
Well, it would be a guesstimate on my part. As I said earlier, we're good enough to go to the Final Four and win the whole thing, and we're also thin enough to lose in the first round because our first round opponent is a formidable one. We're going to have to play very well every game out in order to win. But that's the fun part about this basketball team. You don't know what to expect. We all know that we have to. Our halftime was a very interesting halftime at the Alabama game. There was a lot of emotion showed. And then the players, and I realized this when they went out, Billy Donovan was standing behind the players. Jamal Mashburn, I was very upset. What I said really doesn't matter at this point, but the players got together, Jamal Mashburn, who
Why wouldn't it matter at this point?
Because I went to church today and I begged forgiveness.
Confession, no less.
But Jamal grabbed all the guys together and said, look, you guys are going to have to play much harder, much better, and you've got to get this ball inside. And we'll get work inside and we'll win this thing. And you have to do it. And he very rarely shows that. And what that did for me as a coach, it showed future leadership by Jamal Mashburn. And that's very necessary because we're losing 4 great leaders this year.
I tell you, I thought that entire tournament, Mashburn, just a sophomore, and a young sophomore at that, I thought he put on a clinic down there.
Oh, he did. He's an amazing young basketball player who has it all going. He's a together young man, very humble, very caring, loves his teammates, doesn't want the limelight. He only takes 12 or 14 shots, and he's just special.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Go ahead, please.
Yes, this is Jamie Wolf of Barstown, Kentucky. And first thing I'd like to say is Rick Pitino, I think, is the best coach for UK in a long time since I've been growing up.
Okay.
And Cawood, I don't think basketball is going to be the same without you in Kentucky. We're really going to miss you.
We both thank you. You got a question?
My question is, I've noticed the last couple of games you've gone more to the inside game. And I was wondering, is this something you plan on doing more often, or does it just come out of necessity?
Well, believe it or not, a couple of games stick out in the minds of people. One being Pittsburgh, 2 being LSU. Thinking with this team that lives and dies by the 3. But the last 2 years, to be very honest with you, we've been taking anywhere from 20 to 25 threes as an average per game. That's what we'll always take. But we scored 50-something points yesterday inside the paint, and we've been scoring inside most of the season. And it's really helped our game, but because of the 1 or 2 games that stick out in the minds of people that we were off, they all say, well, if Kentucky has a bad shooting night, they can be beat. The reason that is, if we have a bad shooting night, then we don't get our press on. Because if you don't score, you can't press. And right now our record, I believe, is 26-6.
I think that's close.
So that means 26 games we've done it well, and 6 games we haven't. So the ball's in our court a little bit as far as on the plus side. But we've been going inside the past 2 years, and that's the system is to work inside to out. First year was very difficult to do. We didn't have an inside attack. And now with the growth of Mashburn and Martinez, and with the addition of the players next year, we will go more inside to out.
Thank you, sir. Let's take a question. Go ahead.
Yes, you probably know who I am, but this is Carlin, all the way from Lexington. And what I was wanting to ask you, Rick, is about only getting 4 SEC teams in the NCAA tournament. I felt like we got cheated there.
Who did you feel should have been in?
Possibly Florida.
Well, I was rooting for Florida, but I thought they had no shot. I was pulling for them. Their coach is a great guy, does a super job. But their non-league schedule They did not beat a top 25 team. And it was just not going to get in. If their non-league schedule would have been better, they would have gotten it. But that does not mean that they didn't have a terrific season and do very well. They did. But no, I disagree with you, Colin. I thought that the 4 teams that got in deserved it. I thought the other teams were on the bubble. And it all goes down to strength of schedule. That's what it's all about.
Well, that's what I figured was the reason that Florida didn't get in. And I'd like to congratulate you on the SEC tournament and the best of luck in the NCAA.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Carlin. Go back to the phones. And we're going to, before we do go back to the phones, they tell me we need to take another break. And I'll be back with Coach Rick Pitino on the UK Basketball Network. Rick Pitino's Big Blue Line, and we're coming to you live from Oxmoor in Louisville, and let's go to the phones. Go ahead, please.
Yes, this is Clint Scott from Cawood. Do you think that Mashford has the talent to go to the NBA if he was chosen for it?
When are you talking about?
Like, do you think he has the talent?
No, when? In a couple of years, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
After he gets out of college.
You don't think he has it right now, though, do you?
He has the offensive talent to go into the NBA right now. He does not have the defensive talent. He does not have the physical or mental maturity to do it now. My humble opinion, Jamal Mashburn will be the #1 draft choice in the country if he graduates.
All right.
I'd like to congratulate you on the SEC tournament.
Well, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you. We'll take a question from the audience. Go right ahead.
Can we have your all's autograph?
I tell you, I kind of hate to tell you this, but Coach Pitino does have a team meeting tonight, and we're going to have to really hustle out of here as soon as this was over. I regret that very much. And I know he does.
Yeah.
But we'll be back, okay?
And I think we'd be here until Wednesday.
Back to the phones. Go ahead, please. Coach Pitino is here. Go ahead.
Yes, Rick.
Yes.
I'd like to point out something. The fatigue factor in yesterday's game really showed up on Alabama. And I think with the Kentucky program and the strength coach that you brought, that it has really showed up, especially in Richie Farmer, in the years he's been here under you. And I'd just like to point that out. And I think it really played a real key role in it.
Well, it really had very little to do with the strength coach. It really had very little to do with the coaching. It had very little to do. That's our job. We get paid to do that job. It had to do with Richie Farmer's dedication. We have an excellent strength coach. In the beginning of the year, he got the guys in great shape, worked hard to maintain it. But you know how difficult it is to lose weight. You know how difficult it is to get in shape. But we all fight that on a daily basis. Where Richie Farmer just went from a young man who had a great deal of body fat to a young man today that's in fabulous shape with very little body fat. And he maintains it, doesn't put on an ounce, and that's all self-discipline and dedication, and he deserves all the credit.
Right, I agree. And I'd also like to point out that I think the SEC will really shine in this NCAA tournament. I think this could be a year that the SEC could just really take hold of it.
Well, I know Arkansas is going to do well. I'm positive of that. The rest of us need a little bit of luck, a little hard work, and I think we'll all be successful.
Thank you, sir. Let's go back to the audience. Go ahead.
Okay. Hello, Coach Pitino and Cawood. This is Andy.
Hello, Andy.
Andy's become a media star. Glad to see you, Andy.
Okay, I got a poem that I wrote, come from my heart, about Cawood.
Okay.
Okay? Cawood Ledford knows it all. Yes, he does, him and his great crystal ball. Basketball is his name. That is where he gets his fame. He is just as great as Adolph Rupp because he works his way up to the top. He has a mind that is sharp as a blade because he knows it all about the NCAA. He's always called play-by-play. That's Cawood for you any day. A Harlan County man he is. That's Cawood for you. It sure is. He'll always be the king of the cats. The fans know it in their hearts that he's the best. For Kentucky, he has sure made a great success. Cawood Ledford, Mr. Harlan County, Mr. Kentucky. Then it says at the bottom, Cawood, you're very fine. All I know to say is Happy 39 by Andy Parsons, Harlan County Better. Okay, Wood?
Thank you, Andy.
Oh. Okay.
That's very nice of you, Andy. I appreciate it.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay, Wood?
Yes.
You know, I got your brothers, my family's got your brothers, knows your brother, so they're gonna get your address from it and we're gonna have it mailed to you.
All right, that's mighty kind of you. I
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you, Andy. What a nice young man.
Yeah, he is.
All right, we'll go to the phones. Go ahead, please. You're on the air. He's right here. Go ahead.
Yes, this is Doug Winchester. I'm from a little town called Pine Grove, Kentucky. And I want to thank you for this last season. I get the games taped whenever I'm not home and I can't watch them, you know, because I'm at work. I get them taped and then we all gather around the TV when I get in and have a good time watching the Kentucky game. I want to compliment you. I watched Missouri build their program when I lived in Missouri 4 or 5 years ago. I watched Norm Stewart build his program, and I think you're on track to do the same thing. What I really want to know is how many tapes should I buy to record the games in this next season?
By the next season, you mean the new season, the NCAA?
Right, because my attitude is that Rick Pitino has done enough for Kentucky basketball. If he doesn't win another game, I'll be tickled to death with him.
Well, I certainly appreciate that, but you know, we have such a special group of young people. We want to stay around for a while.
Amen.
And it's going to, I think, but I do reiterate this over and over. We have to play very well on Friday in order to beat Old Dominion. Old Dominion is a team right now on a tremendous uptick. It's going to be a fascinating game because both teams, I haven't seen this now in 2 or 3 years, both teams will go at each other 94 feet, tooth and nail, pressure versus pressure. And Arkansas, I thought it would be that way when we played them, but they took it off.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think either team will take it off. I think we'll go at each other for 40 minutes.
Thank you, sir. All right, let's go back to the audience here in Oxmoor.
I have something to say to Cawood and something to say to you. First of all, I want to commend you. Look around at all these people. I want you to know you've got a bunch of good fans here. And I want to tell you that you've got a room full here, and the local college can't even sell out all their tickets to the Metro concert.
Well, I think that's, I really, you know, the one thing I don't think you should pick on Bellarmine.
She wasn't. That was the Louisville Barber College.
I'm sorry?
It was the Louisville Barber College she was talking
about.
And my father, he's over there, he's crippled. He's been had surgery, and he wants me to ask you, he's been listening to the radio and the TV off and on ever since him and my grandfather, since Clyde Sullivan was speaking for Kentucky, and he says as much time as he put in, how come you can't give us one more year?
Well, the old clock on the wall, as we say in our business,
I
you know.
want to ask you, do you have a younger son that looks anything like you?
Well, I hope so.
Back to yes, 4 of them. We're going to take a break right now, and I'll be back with Coach Rick Pitino on the UK Basketball Network.
Every bit as good as the people who make it.
Rick Pitino's Big Blue Line. We're coming to you live from Oxmoor, and we have about 4 minutes to go here, and we'll go right to the young lady at the microphone. Go ahead.
Coach Pitino, I'm Heather Essex from Louisville, Kentucky, and I'd like to ask you what you thought of the Shaquille O'Neal and Carlos Groves fight in the game.
Well, I tell you, it's an unfortunate incident. I don't like to see anybody picked. I think everybody, the way I look at it, you know, actually, when you think about it, Carlos Groves had a flagrant foul. He grabbed the person, but he just grabbed him around the waist. But Carlos Groves throughout the whole thing really never threw the only punch he threw was at Dale Brown. He didn't throw it at a player. And I don't mean to say that he's innocent, what I think happened there was that everybody should share in the blame, apologize for the incident, go on, and don't try to say it was Jeff Brazo's fault, or this one's fault, or this one's fault. Everybody share in the blame, put it behind you, and it was a great tournament. The SEC did a phenomenal job. The conference office, the town of Birmingham, it was first class all the way, and it's a shame that it had to take away from it. And if the worst part about it is we won by, what, 8 points in that game against LSU?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Worst part about it, it took away a route for us, because if Shaquille would have played, we would have won by a lot more.
Now you say that.
I always have to say, I'm only kidding, so the media listening in understands. They take me literally. I'm only, just like I said, we were staying in Providence. Somebody wrote that. It was all tongue-in-cheek that we may stay in Providence, and I was quoted. From here on in, I'm not joking around anymore.
Let's take a phone call. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's keep it right here because we're just about out of time. Go ahead, sir.
I'm Michael Dembo from Louisville, and I'd like to ask, how come Sean Woods didn't get suspended and Shaquille O'Neal did?
Well, one is a Shaquille. Well, Sean Woods was not given a fighting technical. He was ejected for a flagrant foul, apparently, but it wasn't a fighting technical. There were no punches thrown, and apparently there were punches thrown by Shaquille O'Neal in the eyes of in the interpretation. I do believe that if everything would have stayed calm and the incident was over, nothing would have happened. If it was all just broken up, I think everybody would have gone about their business. But that wasn't the case.
Thank you. I agree with you totally, because I think if the benches hadn't emptied and all the stuff, nobody would have been ejected. To come
No,
to technical.
and you know, you don't want to come down hard on Dale Brown, you know, because when all right, then let's come down. No, everybody makes a mistake, and we all do, you know that, but the one thing I can tell you about Kentucky people, and this has nothing to do with Dale Brown, when we make a mistake, we're going to own up to it.
Okay, thank you very much, and we appreciate the question, and we really have 1 minute, 5 seconds to go. We won't have time to take another question, and Rick, I am really overwhelmed by the response you've had here for Big Blue Line tonight, and with this tremendous crowd, and I thought you might like to say something to this group.
Well, we really, I can't tell you how it feels. Cawood and I both are a little exhausted from this trip. We're emotionally and physically drained. And when we came in tonight, we saw this. Both of us right now are going to go home in a helicopter, but we don't really need a helicopter to fly. We really appreciate your great support, and thank you very much.
And we thank all of you for coming. We know you send with Rick and the Wildcats your good wishes as they go now to Worcester, Massachusetts in a game against Old Dominion. And we invite you to join us next Monday night from Bravo Patino's when it'll be Rick Pitino's Big Blue Line. So until then, thanks for being with us. And for Coach Rick Pitino, this is Caleb Ledford. University of Kentucky Basketball Network.